Welcome back to the Navy Sports Magazine. It's presented by our friends at the Navy Federal Credit Union. Big week for Navy basketball coming up. It's back home both times on Wednesday and Saturday. Bucknell Wednesday night. And, of course, doubleheader action with Army for the men and women coming up on Saturday starting at 11 o'clock. All the action right here on the Navy Sports Network. Pleased to be joined by Navy guard Sean Yoder. And, Sean, I guess the key for any basketball team is when you have a setback like the American game. You guys have come back strong with a vengeance, but more importantly, doing it the Navy way. Solid defensive performances since that American game. What's been the key to these last two games to getting the results you guys obviously are looking for?
Right. Well, I think the first thing is the American game was a hard-fought game. I think we put it all out there. We just didn't want the outcome wasn't what we wanted. So we got back to work, got back to practice, competed like I continue to talk to you about. We compete every day at practice, and that led to two big wins here. So we're just building off of each game at a time, each practice, each possession, whatever it is, build off of it and continue to improve.
You and I talk about that a lot. And, even like Saturday late in the game, I see Lysander Renstrom comes in, he bangs a three from the corner. But let's talk about the value of those practices and the quality of those players. Even like a Tony Atkinson coming in, giving you all some valuable minutes on Saturday to give Dave a blow here from time to time. Just explain to folks, if you can, why those practices are so good and really how dangerous and how deep this roster really is.
I think we have a lot of experience, a lot of guys also wanting to come in and make a difference, wanting to do whatever they can to help the team. And you saw that on Saturday against Holy Cross. Tony came in, great energy, great enthusiasm, great passion, the energy we needed off the bench. He kind of sparked some good defense on Gates. So got us going on some loose balls, which I know Tony's always going to do that. But like we talk about, those practices, we're competing, we're going at each other, we're getting our shots up. So they're not, I wouldn't say they're long in length, but they're quality practices where we're going hard intensity-wise for a good hour and a half. But then, we know when to shut it off. Once we're off the floor, boom, we're back as a team. But when we're on the floor, we're competing, going everything at 100%.
Daniel and I talked about this a little bit after the Lafayette game. From playing this game for so long, nothing gets your attention more than sitting on the padded chair a little bit longer than you normally do. To see him bounce back with the two games he's had since the American game, you guys have been together doing this for a long time. I imagine you weren't surprised with the way he responded over the last two games.
No, I wasn't surprised, and I don't think anybody on our team's surprised that he bounced back, the way he did. And he had a great game against Holy Cross. I know that received a lot of publicity, but even at Lafayette, he played a very solid game for us, helped us to go on the road and win, and really has played a tremendous role in the last two games in us getting two big wins. So I'm happy for him. We're going to continue to look to him in this stretch of games here, which comes down to a very important 2-3 last few games here for us.
Offensively, how important is it to recognize, hey, we got a guy that's got it really going, and you all as a team, and you most notably, just kept throwing it in there to him until Holy Cross either decided to stop him or, in this case, really didn't stop him. I know at times offense in basketball can be selfish, yet you guys seem to be extremely unselfish, knowing where that ball needed to go on Saturday.
Right. I think when something's working, you don't shy away from it. You just keep going at it. And that's what we did. We ran a lot of the same actions offensively to get Deaver and I, or Deaver and Austin, or anybody in a pick and roll situation with no weak side help, where we could dump down to Deaver and let him go to work. A lot of the times too, we were just looking for Deaver on a seal in the post, in the lane. And then he was kind of going to work from there. So all credit to Deaver. He had a tremendous game. And we just had to keep going at him, getting him the ball, letting him create for others. And he did that for us.
You guys went through a tough stretch after getting the league opener against BU. As a captain and working with your other members of the senior class, what was the key to staying focused not losing confidence, and eventually getting things turned around the way you all have?
I think, and I think we talked about this before too. A lot of those games, it came down to the last few minutes where we just couldn't close the game out. So we had that confidence in us that we were performing well, just not in the last, the critical points of the game, not in the last 5-7 minutes of the game where we needed to play our absolute best in those critical moments. So we had the confidence in the locker room and then as a senior class, because I think we do have experience and guys that have played before to know how critical those last 5 to 7 minutes are in a game. So we pinpointed that as the problem. And then, coming out of halftime, first 4 minutes, those are critical as well to the success of your second half. So I think we pinpointed a few parts where we could improve within our game, and we decided to focus on that in practice, and I think we have improved in that way. So looking forward to the next 3 weeks this season, but most importantly, Bucknell on Wednesday night.
I was going to say, cliche says the two teams you face next, obviously with Bucknell starting on Wednesday, these teams are going to want to come back and show you how much better they played than the previous time. But at the same time, how important is it today, tomorrow, Wednesday, just doing the things that Navy has to do to be better, not necessarily getting caught up and overly focused on what the other team is doing, and just doing what you all have to do as a team to be successful?
Right. I think a lot of the times we have those practices where we're really just focusing on us. We're not doing much scout work or film. We're just saying we're going out there to practice, and we're getting better as a team. We're trying to improve as a team, as a unit, as a squad. So I think these next few days, or maybe today and tomorrow, will be a little bit focused more on us, what we can do to improve, and then we'll get locked into Bucknell and what they do. But yes, as far as looking forward, we look forward to Wednesday night, and in all reality, it's today's practice. What can we do to improve our team for today's practice? But then leading up to Wednesday, Wednesday's the next game, so that's the most important one. Absolutely.
I was going to say, I watch how you guys practice. I watch the way the coaches structure things. The fact that you all are still able to get individual development in each one of your games, in between games, to maintain what you're doing. A guy like yourself that's asked to do a lot of different things within your game. Guys certainly shoot the ball a lot. The fact that you guys have that kind of structure that allows you to get individually better, so you all are better as a team on Wednesday. You get a sense of that, and even as we're this deep in the season, that every drill, everything that you all do has a meaning, trying to get the result you're looking for in the next game.
Right. I think each guy, each drill, each practice, each guy has a mentality that they need to get 1% better every day, every possession, every practice, whatever it is. And at the end of the day, when they walk out of those practice gym doors, they can look at themselves in the mirror and say, I got a little bit better today. I helped this team. And that's something that I think a lot of us can say on this team, that, we're going into practice, we're trying to get better individually so we can help this team. And that's what coach says a lot. So looking forward to doing that the next few days as well.
I know the mid-majors as a whole don't necessarily get the publicity. We talk about how deep the Big 12 is this year. Talk about how deep the Big 10 is, where it looks like, 12 of their 14 teams are legitimate out there. Your league, top to bottom, I mean, I'm not sure there's a whole lot of difference between each club, top to bottom. Maybe it's a great thing because it helps you focus each game. But, you've had a go around against everybody at least once now. Why is this league so close in your mind, where it really doesn't matter what place you're in? Every game's going to be great.
Right. I think a lot of teams have the ability to shoot the ball. And I think when it comes down to it, any given team can win on any given night, because if you can shoot the ball well and you're hot that night, you probably have a good chance of winning. So I think that is motivation come toward the end of the season. If you're not in a good spot in the league or where you want to be as a team, then you can still go out and beat this team on any given night, just because it is the Patriot League. And, each team can shoot the ball. Each team has shooters. I couldn't tell you why there isn't a huge gap like other conferences do have. But I do think it gives us a little bit of motivation, not even us, but just any team in general within the Patriot League to go out there and, perform come these next 3-4 weeks here.
I'll let you out on this. The fact that, you played this game from the time you're a kid, hoping to get to this level. You're the captain of a Division I team that's got a chance to contend every night in its league. Is this everything that you had hoped it would be? Is it more? Just what is this experience like to be living this out right now on a team that's obviously got a lot of pride in the program, but and certainly expects to contend. But you're right there in the middle of it too.
Right. And I completely agree. I think for me personally, the first 3 years a little bit more of a development for me, maybe even in my leadership style. And I think this year is kind of bringing it out where I need to be vocal. I need to lead by example, even more so than I did last year or even the beginning freshman or sophomore year. So I think this year it's been an incredible experience for me, to try to help this team improve and get to where we want to be. That being said, there's still a lot of room for improvement, like we talk about. And then these next 3 weeks are this is where the fun happens, fun's in March and it's coming. So I'm excited, looking forward to it, and trying to get this team to where we want to be.
Amen, my friend. The goal to be 1-0 Wednesday night. Sean, appreciate the time. Best of luck, and we'll see you on Wednesday night against Bucknell.
Thanks, Pete. Appreciate it.